Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. This is the Mandem Talk. We're back Wednesday. You know the score, people. 5 p.m. on a Wednesday. We give you the Mandem Talk. And we're with the Mandem today again. Man like Tyrone is full effect. I can see Martial everywhere. Back in full effect. The dreads are here. You know what I'm saying? Martial scored. Life is good. What are you saying, Tyrone?
Do you know what? Short and sweet for me. I told the people. If you listen, God. You know what? God gave us one mouth and 2 ears for a reason, Saeed, isn't it? So when certain people talk, you have to listen, and that's why you use your 2 ears. And I told the people last week, Marshall was going to score, and we'll come on next week and we'll be celebrating together. We're not having porridge for breakfast. We're having eggs Benedict. We're having proper stuff this day. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah, Marshall scored. Amrabat's in. Tyrabat. I can do both. I could do Marshall. I could do Tyrabat. Take your pick. Take your pick, people.
Tyrabat,
but yeah, man. Do you know what? I'm happy because I was even messaging you yesterday, and we had no stress. Like we got the win. There's a lot of positives, and finally we can come on here. And the first time all of us four together. Big up, obviously Musa and Neji. You can't make it and that, but we can talk about good things, man. So yeah, like the video, subscribe, people. You know what it is, family. Big up the chat every single time. We're smiling today, man.
Come on, man. That's what we're doing, man. That's what we're doing. We got man like Rhino in the building. Rhino, what you saying, man?
Yeah, man. We're live, man. Come on. It always goes down when the Mandem talks on, you feel me? So, yeah, man. Positive things to talk about and whatnot. And obviously, we're going to be calm and collective as well. Don't get it twisted. And big up the Mandem as always. Big up the chat and make sure you guys like the video as well, man.
Yeah, definitely like the video, man. 100%. Straight away, there should be 100 likes already, man. I'm hearing only 39 likes. That should be 100 people. So hit the like button, people. Leon, what are you saying, man? All good vibes, good energy today. Got a nice little win yesterday. 2 back-to-back wins. Can't complain, can we?
Yeah, you know what? The performance was a lot better, man. I just want to correct time, man. It's Kasrabat. Please, just, you know what I'm saying? Put some respect on both of them. It's Kasrabat, people, yeah? Cool.
Come with it.
Also, somebody's put Hollandaise football, so boy, people are already onto your ting ties. Mad thing. But yeah, man, listen, big up everyone inside. Big up the chat, big up Saeed, Rhino, Ty, and I think hopefully, I ain't gonna speak too soon. We got a glimpse at some better football this season. So yeah. Man, I'm looking forward to getting into it.
Yeah, man, I can't lie to you, man. We have to run with it, man. You have to be shameless. Whether it's only Crystal Palace's BC team, whatever you want to call it, man. I can't lie. Yesterday, I didn't really want to go to the game last night. I was a bit kind of like, it was one of them nights, you know, it's getting a bit darker earlier. You know what I mean? It's one of them where I was chilled at home. But I said to myself, you know what? Amrabat's going to make his debut. Let me go. Let me see Martial up front. You know, let me just see what's going on. And I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, Rhino, I know why you're laughing. So he's not clocked it yet.
He hasn't clocked it yet.
What would I say?
Right in your face.
Check the name, man.
What?
Hey, check my name. Check my name.
Check who's in the thing.
Oh, Anthony Martial. Oh, shit. Yeah. All right, say no more. I was thinking, what did I say? Is it a pause moment? I was like, yo, what's going on here?
Nah. I'm not getting you like that.
Yeah. So I was thinking, yeah, man, good football, man. And I can't lie to you, man. The passing, the movement, everybody was flawless yesterday. And I get it. It was only Crystal Palace. But bro, man, we played some good football, Tyrone, yesterday, man. Fluid.
Did you know, actually, Sai, before you ask me, any questions, I was going to ask you before we started the stream, you was at the game, and obviously you've been to the game so far this season, and it's been a bit restless. You saw the game last time when he subbed off Højlund, and the crowd booed, first time since Ten Hag's taken over. What was it, before that, even when we talk about our thoughts in the game, what was it like for you being in that ground yesterday, watching that, because that was our best performance of the team? Was the buzz, was it kind of a better feeling than that?
Bro, better feeling. The crowd were enjoying it, man. They were enjoying the football, man. You know what I mean? The football, there was no humming and hawing yesterday. Normally there's humming and hawing. But yesterday there was like, yo, they were appreciating the long balls from Casemiro, the fact that people were giving the ball quick. Even Garnacho, I can't lie to you. That's one of the best performances I've seen from Garnacho. Because normally Garnacho's a bit greedy sometimes. He wants to do it on his own. But even he was giving the ball quick, give and go. And I just thought to myself, yo, are we playing good football, or is that one in isolation, or do certain personnel make it a lot Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think, Saeed? Yeah. Do you know what I honestly think?
Rise up.
If we have to be honest, let's be honest. Yeah. Let's look at last season. I don't think we even played like that last season on our good days. From the start to the end. Yeah, there's times we kept possession, but I'm talking about start to the end, decent ball. Forget what team's in front of us. The fact that we can play a system and it works is what's key for me.
Yeah.
We've played bad teams and still played bad and won. You feel me? So when people keep talking about who are playing, I don't think it's relevant. The fact you can see a system is the key thing. I don't think we've played like as good as that even last season. If we have to think about it.
Yeah, we've always done 45 minutes and then it's dropped off. And
or 60 like that, or something, you know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I'm with you. Do you know what? I actually agree with that. Actually, I didn't really think of that, Rhino, till you brought it up. Actually, the consistency of the performance all the way through. I just think yesterday was like a breath of fresh air, man. And I know there's obviously going to be one player that we're definitely going to talk about, and of course, I think another one deserves a mention. And for me, Amrabat. Yesterday, I don't want to come in here and blow it out of proportion and be like, oh my god, this guy's the greatest midfielder in the Premier League. I'm not trying to do that. However, when I look at what Man United have been doing over the last few years, even in terms of the profile we've been getting, in terms of signing the players since Michael Carrick's left the club, we've always needed someone that can just get the ball off the back four, be calm in possession. Saeed, there was a moment I had tears in my eyes. Anana had the ball and I saw Amrabat moving in behind their defensive midfielder saying, also behind their striker saying, give me the ball, like go left, go right. And he was actually showing for it. Normally, no disrespect to McTominay, but he is not wanting the ball. Casemiro, we know he can't do that sort of role, even though he's an amazing player. So the fact that even Amrabat was just showing the basics of, give me the ball, I want to take it. Our passing was much more crisper. We were ticking the ball over. The retention was there. There was crossfield passes switching into the right backs. One of them even led to a goal. It was just like I don't want to see anything flashy. It's just I want to see the basics that I see our rivals and the best teams
control.
Like we've always said, control that we were doing. And Amrabat gave us that yesterday. When we saw him lining up left back, right back in the lineup, people are like, what are we going to do? Well, obviously, Ten Hag knew we were going to have most of the ball. So, yes, it looks like a back four, but we're going to drop you in inverted and you're going to start controlling the tempo. And what did that do? That freed up Casemiro, who we know is a great sort of box-to-box player. People look at him as a defensive midfielder. He gets forward. He scores goals. He's got energy in that final third as well. And he can arrive at the right times, in the box. And I just feel like the balance was there. And it was just a breath of fresh air. I feel like everyone just had a level of confidence. Everyone went out there with a point to prove. Some players haven't even started games yet. And it's like, Ten Hag, we can show you that we can be counted on. And, people are going to say, oh, it was only Crystal Palace and they played half their B team. Cool. I respect that. And that's what they want to say. However, if we had lost to Crystal Palace yesterday, they would have been screaming, you lost to Crystal Palace's B team. So, you've got to win. You can't
even tie the time that we played, I think it was Burnley, when we played Burnley. Did we play Burnley in the Carabao last season?
We did.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. If we lost that game and we didn't play well, they'll say, "Oh, but you guys didn't play well and it was Burnley." They'll still find something to say. Like, it's crazy,
bro. And that's what I mean. So yesterday, a clean sheet against Burnley, despite obviously struggling a bit, but we got the 1-0 away win. It got a bit of momentum, and then we go into yesterday, win 3-0 again. That's 2 clean sheets in a row, and we've got a bit of momentum going into the Palace game where we played them on the weekend. And I said to you last week, Mandem, Martial would score, and the second one was we've got 6 out of our next 7 games at home. Forget the Man City game that's at the end of that run. I think we could beat Palace twice. I said we could beat Burnley. And then we've got Palace, obviously, again, like I said, we've got Sheffield United, Brentford, and then we've got Copenhagen or Galatasaray, one of them at home. I said we can win all them games. And if we do, I'm not getting overexcited. However, with players coming back, it gives us momentum. Amrabat, Mainu, Mason Mount, who deserves his props. And then, obviously, Højlund's going to get more fit. And then, obviously, Reguilon's come in, had a good impact. I just feel like there's a few more positive vibes coming out of the Man United camp. And yesterday, Amrabat freed it up. And long may it continue. I want him to start on the weekend. That's what I will say. I want to throw him straight in.
Yeah, you know what, Ty, as well? Yeah?
No,
competition 100%. And
big
momentum is what we need. Yeah, big up Neji. I'm gonna address him in a second. Let me get to him. I'll get to him. So a competition and momentum. That's the key for us right now. Do you know what I mean? Not the same man playing every week. But listen, I think there's 2 things I want to start off by saying. Yeah, I think we need a Moroccan stand outside of United right now. I felt like Said, if you had the Moroccan flag in your pocket, it would have been a Mazzy yesterday. You could have been in the stands.
Bro, Dima Maghrib, man. Come on.
And Neji, obviously we can see the HW with the GOAT, yeah. But what's the mad scientist? Like, we got Martial in the chat above you. with the dreads on. But what's going on with the mad science thing? Talk to us, Nate.
Oh, I think it's from last time, isn't it?
From last time,
yeah.
there you go. Rhino's smart, man. Man got called a scientist, innit? Because obviously the way you know it is, I articulate myself a type of way. I like depth. And some people ain't ready for that, man. So I get called a scientist.
Who's not ready? Who's not ready?
The comeback now.
Who's not ready? Who's not ready?
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
Not ready, man. I was gonna say, because if it was me, I'm so sorry. Like, I give you a rematch, but obviously I know I squeezed you tight, but I waited to let you go. I said this week I'll let you go. But you know what I mean? But nah, big up Nate every single time, man. I did tell you Marshall would score though.
You did. I never even looked at Marshall as a negative. To be fair, even when he came on for cameo off the bench, man, I rated what he did. So for me personally, I was happy to see him start, and I was also happy with like I said to you in the rating situation. If Marshall come off the bench, I have to take into consideration he's coming back from injury and getting back into match fitness, so I have to put that in there. So for what he did when he came off the bench that game, I rated, and then obviously he's built on the confidence. It was a great finish as well. Quality ball from Casemiro, because the defender that was tracking Martial at the time, they both actually set off their run at the same time, but the curve of the ball was so perfect that Martial just nipped ahead, man. So 2 beautiful pieces of work there for me.
It was a good finish as well, you know. That finish was very
Rashford doesn't finish like that
as well.
Rashford does not finish that. No way,
You know
Rashford.
what it is, though, yeah? There's a couple of people that I spoke to on Twitter who come into my DM, yeah? And I tried to tell them this, and he said, you know what, yeah, Niji? You actually bang on, and I'll keep it 100 of yous. Martial is one of the most clinical finishers statistically as well at our club. The only issue is he's simply just injury prone. And people make lazy arguments off the back of his injuries. That's all it is. If you statistically go and watch him, he's one of our most clinical finishers and has been. Even when Aguero was playing, he had the best clinical ratio stats. So therefore, he scores with less chances. The only difference is, of course, he's just injury prone. So I don't go over the top, like, you know, just because a man is unavailable. I don't do the banter I get the banter, I'm with it, but I don't ride off the banter as if like this is what we need to use to go against a player, because I just don't see the value in it. But I understand that if Martial keeps himself fit, again,
he's an asset.
He can be an asset, and I don't mind that him being a squad player until next season he gets gone, because of course we can't replace these men at the moment.
What's good about him that he's smiling though? I like the fact that he's not just becoming miserable and that he's you know what I mean? He's actually smiling and he looks like he's enjoying being part. And it maybe some people, like I said it this season, and on the Big Six, know your role in it. Like certain men have to know their role.
He doesn't want to be in the headlights.
Maybe
you're all right, Saeed, though, because a lot of players can soak, and even like I saw pictures of him warming up. He's with Bruno. I saw Casemiro celebrating with him, and I feel like now he's realised himself. Do you know what? Ten Hag has backed me in the preseason last year. He always backed me when I was injured last year. He still kept me at the club even last summer when I could have gone this summer, and I think he's like, do you know what? I see why Ten Hag needs to sign a striker. He did try and keep me fit. I couldn't keep fit, so I need to have someone with me that can score goals if I'm not available. And I feel like he's had a mental period of growth where he's kind of matured. Instead of saying, oh, look, they're not giving me time to recover, he's like, do you know what? I've had my chance. We need support. If Man United needs to get back to where they want to be, I need to be a squad player and do my part when I can. And I love that. So, yeah, big up Martial for obviously scoring. Hopefully he can stay fit and help Højlund. But, Leon, I didn't want to cut you off. I knew, obviously, Neji, but you were going to say about Amrabat, and I wanted you to go back to your thing, man. Sorry for cutting you off.
Saeed, that comment from Stephanie was bang on there as well, you know. That one you just pulled up, that was hard comment still about Hannibal and added extra. I thought he played well, you know. Do you know what I mean? Very well. Amrabat, what were you saying about his
no, it was you. You was landing, obviously, Neji coming, but you were saying about Amrabat, and you were going to talk about
saying Moroccan vibes. You get me? Because like I think with Amrabat, we needed someone who just chilled us out a little bit and just played the ball properly. And the way he plays the game is very sensible. That's how I'd say. And it's a blessing, man. Let's see what Ten Hag does now. I think all of us, and I mean, if you disagree with me, tell me now. And out of all of us that here, I'd like to see that Casemiro Amrabat as much as possible. I think that's a great combination. I think that gives the whole team confidence, and I think it makes more competition for the wingers, because we've come on here week after week and we've said about the wingers don't create enough chances. So why not play some of the 10s in the wingers position? Obviously, Bruno, I'm not a fan of it, but why not play Mount on the right wing if we haven't got anyone else? Because you've got that comfort of them two behind him as well. Do you know what I'm saying? In certain games, yeah. But big up all the lads, really. Like Palestri was great. Garnacho, like Saeed said, he had an all-round performance, a lot better. And we just look like how we should look. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself because it's one game in it, and like I need to see this on a 5, 10, 15 game consistent basis. You're on mute, bro. You're on mute.
You know why? You know why that's true. Where we shouldn't get ahead of ourselves as well, is because we don't know if we're gonna have this team again or this kind of that feeling again. And this is where it's on Ten Hag, and that's why I said like Ten Hag has got a selection dilemma in terms of does he go with players that play and get the result done, or we get the win, but it's scrappy and it's not the level of football we want, or we play better as a team, but then we might not be as kind of like we're get the goals that we're looking for, maybe a 2-3 look. Because then we're not a high scoring team anyway. I feel like this team needs to play better football first, and then we'll get the performances and the results alongside with it. But that's what Ten Hag's got to realize. Does he play the players that maybe have to suit a transitional way? Because yesterday, I don't think we played that sort of football with Rashford and Bruno. I'm being genuinely honest with you guys. And people can say what they want to say, but I genuinely think everyone just kept the ball nicely, give and go, tick, tick, tick. And I think sometimes, when we play Bruno and Rashford, and don't get me wrong, they do have an impact, but everyone else then isn't the same. We're not playing that same sort of football. And that's why I'm saying it's about balance. What does Ten Hag do? Does he cater towards the attacking kind of counter-attack, or does he say, you know what, we might play someone else in there, we might play a different type of football, but we're going to play better as a team? So that's where Ten Hag's got to look at it and think, yo, this is where you make your money.
Can I ask you a quick question on that? Sorry, can I ask you a quick question? Do you think it will have a positive impact on someone like Bruno to see Hannibal playing in this position, knowing and saying, that's my position, I'm the guy, I'm way more experienced, I can offer the team more creativity? But do you think Bruno would sit there, if you was Bruno, like think in his head, do you think he'd sit there and he'd go, in some games I need a little bit more control, not completely change who I am, but you see how he's ticking it over? And what I really liked yesterday was the wingers were doing what Ahmad and Palestri do what I want them to do. You don't have to bring it all the way back up to the box and squeeze the team tight and it's all messy at the top of the box. You can cut in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like Hannibal was, when Dallo and Palestri were just touching it around. That's what I want to see. So do you think Bruno would sit on the bench and think, in some games I need to, or do you think he's just in his head where he's like, nah, just do what I want, I'm Bruno?
I think ultimately, and I think Neji would probably, explain the most, but I think with Bruno, it's relentless, isn't it? He will play that ball no matter what. Like if that ball isn't on, he will still play it. And I think sometimes I'm like, you don't need to do that. You could just get it back and play the ball and just start
pick
again.
the moment to do that.
Saying, pick the moment to start again. I think, listen, I understand the qualities of Bruno. Like his output is ridiculous, but I think as a team, though, what we seen yesterday was a glimpse of, you know what, Amrabat had more passes or more completed passes than McTominay, and he's been playing all season in one half. I think you've seen some of the attributes of, you know what, when we keep the ball, we actually play better as a team. And I think we've seen a team game yesterday. So I don't know, man. I just think for me, it's one of them where it comes down to Ten Hag about balance and what he does with the midfield, etc., etc. But I don't know what you wanted to say there. I think let me get this super chat here. But sorry, but we can't drop Garnacho for Rashford. And HKS has been telling y'all Rashford and Bruno kill our attacks, best performance in years. We play better without them. Ten Hag gonna learn. How do you what do you say to that, Neji, in terms of the way we played yesterday? And can Bruno and them and Rashford come into that team? And in terms of their attributes?
I think no doubt they come into the team with their attributes, but I think what you're seeing is when you add certain profiles to a team, you get more balance, more deficiencies can be covered. So this is why I keep trying to tell people that, yes, there are deficiencies within a player, within teams. I see it, and again, I'm not going to mention names because people get triggered and, again, lose trail of thought. But you'll see it at other top teams where there are players with world-class attributes and abilities that their deficiencies get covered with other profiles. And if they were to go into this Man United team, or if they step into an international team, you don't see the same qualities, not because they aren't good, but because the system and the profiles around them don't protect their deficiencies, therefore they look worse than what they are. You bring an Amrabat into this team, a ball carrier. Bear in mind, they even said last time that we spoke about this, Ten Hag's first major signing that he wanted was Frankie de Jong, who a ball carrier. Why? Because it is imperative to the system. Yeah. It is imperative to the system for all parties to work. So therefore, Amrabat is doing the beautiful job that everyone wants him to do in terms of ball carrying, bringing the ball, maintaining possession, which then what? Takes away the authority from Bruno to have to do that job. the same way Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have to do the job, the same way Trent Arnold doesn't have to do the defensive duties as much, because the system caters for the deficiencies. Therefore, he can then what? Focus on his main attribute, which is what? Being the best creator, or one of the best creators in the world. So your system and your profiles are most definitely important to get the best out of your world-class players. World-class talent and ability alone, the players I've just mentioned, Trent and KDB, do not win it based on their talent alone. They maximize their opportunities within the system that they play because their deficiencies are covered. Therefore, what? The fan base don't have to focus on it. Therefore, we get more positive results. Therefore, no one cares if KDB give the ball away the most in the season. Same way I don't care if Bruno gives the ball away most times in the season. So I'm seeing what I'm seeing is right now is Amrabat coming in alongside a Casemiro, or in my opinion, I think Casemiro needs to be higher up the pitch now, just because, again, he still has ball winning capabilities, but his goal scoring form and his passing ability is incredible. And if we're going to win the ball higher up anyway, it's going to free Bruno up a little bit more to be creative, knowing that he's got backup around him if he gives the ball away. That to me is the most important part, because that is a privilege Bruno doesn't get the same way other players who have similar or better world-class attributes get. And for me, that's why system and profiles are important. So I think Bruno slots in perfectly. How it will look and suit, it all depends on him having a ball carrier behind him and someone who has the abilities to play the 6 with 8 abilities, or an 8 who has the 6 abilities. And Amrabat is that person.
Can I ask you a question on that? So do you think Ten Hag in his head is thinking Mino, Casemiro and Amrabat, you lot are covering, I know you said Cas a bit further forward, but you're covering the 8s and the 6s. Mount, Bruno, you're covering the right wing and the 10. And then is that kind of where you think he's...
I think that's what...
McTominay's just chuck a
I think ideally, I think that's what would happen, bro. And to be fair, I said as again, it's not to maximize Bruno, but to allow Bruno to have more focus on his main game. I think an Amrabat is most definitely important. And again, you saw again with Mason Mount. I told you, man, he's a facilitator. Give him a ball carrier behind him. You'll start to see the worth on the pitch. There are so many average ballers in this world that we have called world class or we've called amazing, yeah, and not attributed it to the system or to the manager. Managers and systems in this day and age, in this era of football, are more world class than what they used to be. They can make average look amazing. It's the same thing I said about Jordan Henderson when he went to Liverpool. I said Mason Mount will probably be a Jordan Henderson if Ten Hag gets his system and profiles right. I literally said that.
You know what?
Again, go on.
No, I hear you in that point. It's in different attributes can complement each other, but at the same time, we're not seeing the great football. We've been here a year and a bit now, and we've not seen the football that we've hoped and wanted.
But
so
why
it
would
comes
you?
down to, well, is that what people can expect? Can we not as fans expect better football?
No, I'm genuinely asking if you're making that statement. I'm just intrigued because, and the reason I asked that side before you answer, bro, is for the simple fact that we've only just seen Amrabat come in. Onana's just come in.
Yeah, I hear that.
Mason Mount's just profiles are so necessary in this day and age of football, so necessary for systems. Back in the day, broski, yeah, and I saved this quote because I love this quote because I get to bring it up every time we have these discussions. R9 and Carlo Ancelotti. Carlo Ancelotti brings R9 off the bench, AC Milan, and he tells Ronaldo, he says, I want you to run X, Y, Z, do this, this, this. R9 turns around and says, do you want me to run or score goals? He comes on the pitch, scores 2 goals. That's not the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, if R9 did that in a Pep Guardiola system, he's getting shipped. No team's taking him. Why? Because football has changed now. So profiles and systems are more important than the actual talent. This is why I don't mind players having deficiencies. Because back in our day, we had world-class ballers that didn't care what system, what grass, what science was there. They could go to any team and still perform to the higher level. Nowadays, it's more robotic. Therefore, I have to put preferences on... Sorry, I have to put my focus on not preferences of talent, but more so the application of systems and everything else. So I look at that, bro, and go, okay, well, I don't rate Mason Mount. Bruno's got his deficiencies. I don't rate Maguire, etc., but I can see how they work in a system and talent. That's why more credit is given from me to a manager and a system. So now I've got to be patient with that. So I don't expect us to see Ten Hag ball to this level until I see a full 11 playing 10 games straight And that, again, that should be realistic. But again, then you look at how we're run, we're not going to get that. But for me, I've got to look at it and go, I need to see his full team. I need to see how his systems and patterns are going to work, whether I rate a baller or not.
Let me get some super chat before I bring in a couple of the lads in here. Big up to HK Music. Man United are not set up for Rashford and Bruno. Bruno do play like they do. We need everyone to play as a team. People look at numbers way too much instead of the overall game. And then Archie said, since pre-season, the B team has played better than our regular starters. It's more balanced in midfield. Ten Hag should build on this. Should be merit-based rather have a cohesive team than individual. I mean, what do you say that to that, Rhino? I'll bring you in, and then I'll bring in Tyrone. Like in terms of big personnel rather than people who make the team better. Yeah, I mean, where do you kind of stand on that? Because it's a fine balance between winning games for Ten Hag and playing better as a team and then building that confidence in. Where were you? Where's your balance in that?
You muted, bro.
Yeah, you're muted. You're
Yeah,
muted, bro.
my bad. Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. For me, it's just about everyone playing their roles, and it kind of touches on a bit of what Nagy said as well, and partly what the comment said. Everyone just needs to fulfill their position. Now we've got a ball carrier. I think Kobe Mainoo will probably be like a back, someone that will work in succession with Amrabat as well, so he can learn. Kobe Mainoo looks like he likes to pick up the ball and come to collect as well. We've been missing that for a long time. We've also been missing a striker. I can understand why people will think, okay, so why didn't Ten Hag prioritize on that last season? I feel like last season was more of a, let me see who can turn up for me and let me analyze everything. And now this season, I know what I'm missing. You know, obviously, like Lady said, he tried to get De Jong before. So we can see how key Amrabat is. And I just hope we can get someone else like him as well, just so we don't have to rely on him. So I think that's what Kobe Mainoo is going to do, hopefully. But yeah, I just want everyone to play their system. If Bruno comes in, just do what you need to do, but play for the team. You feel me? I think if I had to pick between Rashford and Bruno, I think Bruno more likely can fit in the system than Rashford can, in my opinion. If I look at everything overall, just the way they both play, I feel like the midfield more complements how Bruno plays. But I like what Mount was doing as well. He wasn't just trying to assist.
That was
he
good,
was part of the build-up play as well. So I can see what Ten Hag has got him in for as well. And what I liked that I think the players need to learn from is that Amrabat was covering the third man, the third piece of the triangle in every position. So when was deep, he was there. When was attacking the right wing, he came there as an option. When was in the midfield, he was showing for the ball everywhere. And I think if all the other players can get this kind of IQ to just stand there and give me an option in case someone's about to tackle me or I've got no pass on. Someone cover a gap over there so I can release the ball. So I think it's very important about the triangles, man. So yeah, for me, everyone just needs to play their part, Saeed, man, in the system. And then let's play as a team. And also to address people that keep saying it's Palace. At the end of the day, we've played very bad teams. We've played teams that have been just like Palace and we've still played bad. And we get criticized. So we're going to be here to be happy when we can see a system. So, yeah.
Yeah, what do you think, Tyrone, in terms of that? Because you know what it is, because and this is a good point what Rhino says there. You know, I mean, how many teams are playing better football than us? But when we see better football, we always play it down, innit? Like that's the issue. I feel like if we're too negative 1 minute or we're too positive, we get gas 1 minute or we're too kind of like, yeah, you man are just pessimistic, you man. Them like, there's no in between the United at a minute, man. It's like, yeah, it may be a shiny new toy we seen yesterday, but I tell you what, man, like. It's almost like pre-season when we see the second team, like big up to the chat said that the second team was better than the first team. Like it's almost you see so many parallels, and it's like, where's the real Man United? Is the
do you
real
know what
Man
I think, Side? Do you know what I think that happens as well? I feel like sometimes the second team want to work harder. You saw the time when Garnacho lost the ball, he was about to moan, and he just got up and said, "Oh, Bunny, let me go and try and get the ball back." And he just came and pressed. If everyone is pressing, playing high intensity and not being lazy, I don't want to use Rashford as an example, but if we have that mentality where we're just walking around, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if Rashford sometimes thinks he's Mbappe, because you know certain people like Mbappe don't really walk and no one says nothing. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. So it's interesting. Maybe in his head he's thinking, I don't really have to press, but it would be nice if everyone just puts in that effort. Remember I said at the start of the season, the mentality. Everyone just needs to be hungry for it. And that's one thing we're missing, the energy. Everyone wanted to press yesterday. You feel me? And I feel like even if Palace played decent, you can still see that there's a spark in every. Even Martial was trying his thing, trying to rip couple man and whatever. So it's just for me, just consistency, man. I just hope this is the start of something. You feel me? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Ledu says here, big up my guy Said. Love. I saw Ten Hag ball yesterday against the Crystal Palace that didn't try. Ha. I've been signed out of Ten Hag's madness since February. You know what though? Let me ask you a question though. I'll go to you, Tyrone. Like, when people say what's Ten Hag's ball, like, we didn't see it obviously since February. We've not seen it and whatnot. Like, do you reckon that the manager can convince the fan base like he's the man to take United forward? Because I feel like a lot of people are doubting him at the minute in terms of whether he's got the style of play, whether he relies on two man like Bruno Rashford, whether he can actually say, "Yo, listen, Pelistri, like you're my guy. I need you." Like other certain personnel in there, you know what I mean? Maybe tinker in the system. Casemiro, like, I'm not saying he's back here, but he just showed you what he's capable of. Like yesterday, like if you put bodies around him, energy around him, like Hannibal, that won't give the ball away needlessly and will actually press. You see how Hannibal and Garnacho pressed yesterday. Did you see that? The way they ran.
100%.
You see that, bro?
Yeah. Do you know what?
Apparently, Hannibal Brook's on record for pressing as well. Apparently,
he don't stop.
Yeah, you know what? He's made the most sprints this season and the most I can't remember what it was. It ran the most kilometers since Ten Hag's come in, 12.9, I think, or something it was yesterday.
Wow.
Since Ten Hag's come in. So little things like that, even though like you might not have to be amazing on the ball, at least you're putting that effort and you're setting the bar high, so everyone has to maintain them standards. And we've always said about our midfield has been a bit leggy. So I don't think Hannibal is the solution to our midfield, but I like the fact now that I'll start with this point that we're finally, even Van der Beek coming on for 20 minutes. I know he's potentially done at the club, but now when you look at it, we've got Mason Mount back, you've got Van der Beek getting minutes, you've got Hannibal now integrated, you've got Amrabat in, you've got Kobe Mainoo coming back, Casemiro, when Bruno Fernandes, of course, I've got to name. When you look at the options in midfield compared to when we did have, Fred, no disrespect to him, it was Fred, McTominay starting only 2 weeks ago. We've actually finally got a bit of depth where we're looking at our midfield and thinking, finally, we actually have some options coming back. And like I said to you, with the timing of the fixtures we've got, I think we've got winnable games that we can win our next 5. And that also adds to confidence, also adds to momentum. And also going on your question, Said, with Ten Hag, I'm fully backing Ten Hag, and I always have been. We can question some decisions because we're fans. We're rightful in questioning some things that we think he's done, rightfully or wrongly. But in terms of me and, do I want him as our manager? I 100% do. Last year, people are quick to forget. We didn't really expect us to finish top 4. A majority of us didn't, including me. We got top 4. We won a trophy in the Carabao Cup. And don't forget, we got to the FA Cup final. And yes, we lost it, but we still got to the FA Cup final. It could have been a double in his first season. And we haven't seen that really at the club for quite a while now. So there's much more positives with Ten Hag than there has been negatives. The way he's dealt with situations, Maguire's situation, the Ronaldo situation, the way he handled that, Sancho's situation last year, giving him time out, take time away. He's handled things correctly away from the club as well. So the only one you could say is a bit up in the air is the Sancho situation. However, put that to the side and focus on what we're doing now. And I'm still with Ten Hag. I'm riding what he's doing. I think this is actually going to be the best time for him now to potentially try and get his idea across, if I'm totally honest. Now we've actually got someone like Amrabat coming in. He's finally got a striker that we didn't have, unfortunately, last year because Martial was injured. These are important parts of the team because what are they? They are part of the spine. Amrabat's going to be sitting there in central midfield. We've got Rafael Varane, our best defender. People don't speak on him enough. Our best defender. I don't care. He's back. We need him to stay fit. He is part of the spine. We've got Varane, Amrabat, Højlund. They are new and they're part of the spine. Not Varane, but obviously back from injury. We need to keep them fit. And I just think now we've got something to really work with. I'm not getting overly excited. However, as a Man United fan, I was at Daps's yesterday with Cass and that, and I was just smiling. I was happy. I have a reason to come on here now and actually be happy and smiling. And like you said, Said, some people moan at us when we're, overreacting when we win. And then obviously we get gunned down when we lose. At the end of the day, we're all here as 6 of us as football fans. If we're winning 3-0 and we're seeing good performances, why can't we be happy? I hate when people try and tell you when to be happy as a football fan. What, have I got to be happy only when we're lifting the Premier League? Well, I might not see that for 10 years. So at the end of the day, I'm going to be happy when I'm seeing us start the season poorly and then beat a Burnley with a clean sheet and then get another clean sheet with some positives on yesterday. So, yeah, man, I'm behind Ten Hag. I believe in what he's going to do, and I hope that the best is yet to come. Amrabat's there, Højlund's there. That's a new part of the spine. And, like I said to you, we've got options now back in midfield of Bruno, Van der Beek, Kobe Mainoo coming back. That gives us some depth. Hannibal, the legs in midfield. We've needed that, man. All it is for me is Man United have been missing the basics, you know, not even controlling games like me and Leon were saying on last week's stream and stuff like that. You know, sustaining the ball. Like in terms of yesterday, when we lost the ball, I felt like we were getting it back quick, and Crystal Palace have penned back quite a bit. No, I know they didn't come out and didn't try and like break us down. They played quite defensive. However, we just kept winning the ball back, and you know, it was sustaining attacks, and that's what I want to see. That's what I've grown up watching Man United do. So yeah, man, a lot of positives. And with your question with Bruno and Rashford, I agree with Neji or whoever it was, sorry, that said I would rather keep Bruno in than Rashford if I had a choice. But I'm going to kind of defend Bruno and Rashford because I am going to say now, obviously, they've got Amrabat in. I'm not saying he's the key to everything. And now we've got Hannibal in there with the legs. You know, we've got two things that we didn't vitally have, and that is the control, and that is having balance in midfield to, you know, battle in midfields against these Brightons and stuff where we've been outworked. And also, Højlund up front, he's still finding his way. Like, his first touch is still a bit off, but it's going to get better. But the key thing is, if you guys want to see, you know, 5 or 10 games of this, like Leon was saying, then you're going to have consistency. And the first thing you have consistency is playing these players together. Now, people might not like it, but Bruno and Rashford are two of our most important players. And I want to see them playing in this team with Amrabat, with Varane in there, and see if they can come in and also enhance our levels. There's no point just saying after one game against Crystal Palace, oh, Bruno and Rashford should be starting. I'm sorry, I think it's ludicrous if people are saying that. They're actually two of the players that were so important for us last season and got us out of ruts when we were struggling. I think they deserve a chance to see what they can do once Amrabat's in. We've got control and more of a volume passer in there. Bruno and Rashford might actually be better for it. We don't know yet, but I just think people see them not in the side yesterday, and all of a sudden, oh, look what we do without Bruno and Rashford. Like, it's just, I just think it's like an easy way to scapegoat them. So I'm happy to see Rashford come back in on the weekend, Bruno come back in the weekend, and I want to see what they can do with Amrabat and Varane and stuff. I think we've got a lot to work, a lot to build on.
Ty, can I just add to that?
People are super chat. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I think the key for Ten Hag right now is to have the jigsaw in front of him, and it's a different jigsaw each week. So I think he needs to put the right pieces in at the right times. Like whether that means 1 week Højlund plays up front, Martial on the left because Rashford's not playing well.
Yeah,
whether that means he needs to interchange the pieces.
Do you know what? Do you know what, Leon? I'll come back to that because funny enough, Jurgen Klopp, as much as I hate Liverpool, Jota said something to him interesting, and Klopp said it in the press conference. Klopp goes, Jota's not starting a lot of Premier League games because Luis Diaz is. However, obviously, there's Luis Diaz, there's Gakpo, there's Nunes Salah, and I can't remember, obviously, there's one more, of course, that plays them. There's like 5, 6 of them that rotate in the attack. And Klopp said, at the end of the day, Jota come up to me and said, I want to win this competition. The reason I want to win this competition and stay in the Carabao Cup, whether people laugh or not, is he said, we've got 6 attackers. If we go out the Carabao Cup, we're not getting minutes because Salah, Nunes, and Diaz are going to be starting. Jota and that are going to have to wait. At the end of the day, Man United yesterday played Martial, Garnacho, Pellistri. They want to go as far in the competition as possible because then at least every 3 days, we've got Champions League, Carabao, all the squad are getting used, all the squad are fit. And if we do get a few injuries, it's not like Martial and Garnacho are coming in from the planet Earth.
Cold,
you know what I mean? They're coming in and they've been playing minutes. So for me, I want to stay in every competition. And I think Jota's bang on right with Liverpool in terms of them going deep. And Man United should have that same mentality, like you said, Leon, of, you know, everyone trying to, you know, prove their point, get as far in the competition, and the squad gets used. And then we're all fit then.
And to even add on that as well, quickly, I feel like Ten Hag's probably learned from last season that I can't just do the go strong thing all the time. I need to play rotational plays. I think he's learned a bit more about rotation.
He's got to trust the squad, man.
Yeah.
He's got to trust the squad for me, man. That's the main overriding action point. Big up to Nedu says, watch him go play his favourites this weekend and not take everything from the last match. Side note, we are overrating Hannibal. Donny was proper yesterday. Yeah, Donny had some good touches, man. I thought Donny was sharp as well yesterday. Can
I come back to him? Sorry, Said. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nedu's super chat about 3 minutes ago says, I watched Ten Hag ball yesterday against the Crystal Palace that didn't come to do anything. That's what he said, right?
Yeah.
And he said, I've been done with Ten Hag since February. Nedu's last super chat you just got up said, watch him not learn anything from the last match and he's going to go back to his favourites. That's contradicted yourself, Nedu, because you just said, we played the Crystal Palace that come to do nothing. Then you just said he's going back to his favourites. Make up your mind. Bro, I'm a microscope. I watch what you're saying. You just contradicted. So make up your mind. Sorry, Said.
Yeah. No. Listen, it's one of them, man. Dango is levels above Hannibal, in my opinion. Listen, Dango was good, man. I've heard some good stories about Dango, man. And you know what? He's so comfortable on the ball as well, which is rare to find out. Him, Hannibal, and Mino all technically sound. So that's positive for United. HKM says Ten Hag needs to go with Amrabat, Casemiro, and Eriksen in midfield. Eriksen and Højlund have a good connection from international football. This will bring us balance and good football we want to see. You know what? Let me ask you a question, Leon. Yeah, like obviously we got Mount in the team now. He's coming back from injury. You got Eriksen in there. As much as we all like to say there's a squad and whatnot, but ultimately, you know what I mean? If Ten Hag gets it wrong with the balance, the next game, everyone's going to be on Ten Hag's case, innit? It's all well saying we got a squad, but, you know, the right personnel, like Man City, you can see they have a core first team. You know, Arsenal have a core first team. Are we just going to keep saying, like, yo, there's not really a core first team? It's just whatever fits, wherever, you know what I mean? Like, would you want to have a core team first, or would you like to have it a bit
I
of
think
both?
he's got a first.
What are you saying?
By the way, before you start, Nadu's replied to you, Ty, in it, so he's got a little. I just seen it.
Yeah, there you go. Let me be a fickle fan. Listen, shameless FC, man.
I got him.
And you got people in the comments saying he's right, but he's just admitting he's being fickle. Come on, man, guys. Man.
I think he's probably got a first 14 or first 15. He's got his favourites that he wants to kind of throw in there. So I think he's kind of got like, in a way, like he's got people that he wants to interchange to them, but he's got ones that he turns and goes to. I think, I think my only worry of Ten Hag is his stubbornness. That's my only worry, you know, because you've got to interchange at the right time. That's my only worry. So, you know what's a really good one as well, yeah? I think a lot of people in the comments have been mentioning Eriksen. Do we see Eriksen playing in the 8 now? Or do you think I want to see him in the 10, mate? I'm going to be real.
I want to see him in the 10, bro. I'll be real with you. The 10 for me sounds his best, but then you got Mount in there. You got Hannibal's coming out of nowhere. Like, it's difficult because I think with Eriksen here, I don't think he's got the legs for the 8 role. I think he had a good start to the season. Let's be honest, he had a decent start to the season. I thought he was techie. I thought he was tidy. He looked like he had a spring in his step. But when you start playing him game after game, you don't see that. Or, like I said, he might be that bit part player, man. You know what I mean? The thing is with Eriksen, though, he makes the team play, but he don't have a high volume of... I don't know what his assist record is like, or even... Last year, to be fair, he had the most assists, didn't he? For United last season.
Yeah, even with injury,
Yeah,
more than Bruno?
How do you get people?
Do you get more than Bruno?
I don't know if it's more than Bruno. Let me check now. Eriksen assists last season.
I might be
I'm sure he had lots of assists last season. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think 7. Was it 7 assists last season?
League.
I could be wrong. I think all competition was 9 or 11. I could be wrong. Let us know in the chat if you do remember that one. But like I said, I don't know.
This is perfect timing. So what Ten Hag watch, yeah?
All day, every day.
You enjoyed that yesterday, though, Musa. Come on, man. You enjoyed that yesterday, right?
No, listen. See, my thing is this. I think, like, the love-hate relationship I got with Man United is that I've seen too many games like yesterday, and then I see too many games where we hold the 5 and 6, and we all come on here like our girlfriend just cheated with the next door neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Everybody comes here screwing, fuming. So I just can't allow a 3-0 Carabao Cup win against Palace at home to just get me gassed and excited and see Amrabat and flipping Casemiro numbers up and all of this like against the Palace. And that was a Palace as well to kind of, it's like, cool. That was a Palace. What would you lot rate that Palace out of 10 to what you normally seen them play recently?
What do you mean?
Like,
Do you mean compared to the Mandem that they used to have, or do you mean
like a 4-5, 4-5?
The levels we've seen them get to themselves this season. Or under
off it, man. Trust me.
4 out of 10.
Oh, bad still, very bad.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, so they were 4 out of 10. So I can't get excited. If it was a Palace that was on job, and we saw that they were pressing and moving us up, and then we turned up, then I can get excited and say, right, they tried it. They tried to scare us in the first, you get me? But they didn't even try it. They didn't try it. So we just kind of bullied them, and I just can't get excited, man. I really can't. I just feel like I'm on a bit of what Nouraddine's on, man. I feel like, you know, the whole structure and everything, and I've heard people say it before, and I've heard people, you know, upset about the whole club and the direction we're going in, but I'm just looking at these, man. They really nearly put the club up for sale. It's come up to nearly like a year ago, and they've just finessed their whole time through, making people put in world record bids for our club, and still they're just sitting there. And it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just a difficult situation to be in because we're looking at City going on to winning their 4th back-to-back league. Is this a Farmers League or what?
We can only do what we can do, though, Musa. We can only do what we can do, and the reality is, we're not playing we're not where we're meant to be. Obviously, we're way off the top 4 a little bit. I don't know how many points we're off the top 4. That'll be the aim, getting into the top 4 again and winning trophies. I don't think this United team are going to win any Premier League anytime soon. It is as high as you can, and ultimately, it's win a trophy again. The same goals this season, but you got to play better football, though. This is why I'm on Ten Hag this season, Musa. I want to see better football, and this is why we're having this conversation now. Is he having the best 11 possible, or is he producing our best team possible to play that brand of football? Because that's what it is. Nobody's looking at United to win a title. Nobody's thinking we're in a title challenge. So you know what? I'm gonna say, give me good football and then win a trophy as well if you can. That's why we're talking about the likes of Rashford, the likes of Amrabat, Casemiro, Eriksen. Who's in the team? Who deserves to be in the team? And what's our best team? Because nobody knows our best team right now. Nobody really knows our best team.
No, but Saeed, Brighton's coming to Old Trafford. They're having 6 changes, playing their second string goalkeeper, and still showing us a style of football. Why does it have to be dependent on he has to have his best 11, he has to have his best players for us to... Every single squad player at Manchester United should be playing a style of football that the manager wants them to play. They're professional footballers. They've been playing football since they're 5, 6 years old. They've always been the best at their school. The best in their area, the best.
Lads, you know, bro.
I'm saying
this is Premier League football, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
You're muted.
His Wi-Fi shutting him down again, bro.
Yeah, his Wi-Fi shutting down.
Guys,
there's 1,000 people here. Guys, there's 1,000 people in here. We're not even hit 500 likes here. Guys, hit the like button. It doesn't cost you a penny.
Man.
Guys,
you know what I mean? Come
guys,
on, man.
guys, Musa's back, man. He ducked us last week. He's back. Hit the like button, people, please.
I get it, man, but it's like I don't know where we're going with all this. Where are we going with this? Like,
Musa, can I ask you a question? Yeah, can I ask you a quick question? If you look at the likes of a team like Arsenal, when they miss 1 or 2 components, they don't play the same, and they've managed to establish their system with a first 11. So I think we need to kind of answer your question. What I think is where we need to go towards is establishing a system with our 11 first. We haven't done that stage that Arsenal did for them to now be able to lose the system and readjust.
Also, you look at Brighton. I keep telling you, man, having a structure. You said you're on Noureddin's vibe. Having a structure like Brighton allow you to lose your best manager, lose your best players, and still bring in profiles that suit the system. Yep. Man United don't have that. We have profiles that suit different managers with different styles, different tactics. Yep. So that logics that you use is flawed, given the simple fact that half of these players don't suit what's best for Ten Hag moving forward anyway. So you've got to get rid of them. Brighton are further ahead in their development than us.
Lads, Eric Ten Hag's adaptable, and we saw that last season. And he adapted with what he had, and he got us results. And I get that, and I'm happy with that. But the problem is with Man United is that, and I know we always say, it's like you sent man in Selvages with £1 million, and he still can't bring you out an outfit. Not one outfit that you can rock to the do. And you're like, I just gave you £1 million, you've gone in Selvages, and I can't even rock not one outfit from this whole, like, what's going on? Because no matter what happens, we've still spent the most money out of all the clubs in the last 10 years. It's £1 billion, and I get it. It's different managers, it's different this and that.
Exactly.
But this is why I have the worry that we've just gone and done it again. I can name about 4 players that Eric Ten Hag has brought in that our next manager can walk in and just say, I don't even think he's for me. Anthony, the goalkeeper, who else?
The goalkeeper.
Of course, the goalkeeper.
This point you're making here, Musa. This point you're making is the reason you're backing a man.
Huh?
Sorry, bro. I'm saying this is the reason why we're saying we can't keep sacking managers. We've got to actually back a manager and go through a whole process. Otherwise, what you've just said is going to keep happening. We don't want that.
Yeah, I'm not doing about the manager. I'm just not backing anyone. I just want a whole new revamp. I'm not backing anyone. I'm just saying I'm not also going to be like, cool, let's just get him out.
Bro, you make me laugh, bro. I'm sorry.
Anyone. No, I'm not backing anyone. Do you know what it was? Because it's like this Sancho.
Musa's here for vibes. You want to see vibes football. You want to see
No, you don't care,
entertainment.
bro. Musa's that guy.
Musa wants Ollie back.
Musa's that
Ollie
guy,
back.
bro. That would bet on
Mandem.
4 against
Mandem.
Joshua to win his next fight. He don't care. He just want to see mash up.
Listen to this. Listen to this, man. Yeah. They said, example, Eric Ten Hag versus Sancho, everyone says you got to back the club. Eric Ten Hag isn't the club. And this is why we need a director of football. There needs to be people about him that is accountable for him. Managers can sometimes make decisions like we saw with Mourinho that are not for the club. They're against the club. Every decision Eric Ten Hag makes is not going to be of benefit of the club. We need someone above him, like you're saying, Neji, that can be like, hold on, is this the right man? Or do we have to go and get a different profile? But they're not doing it off the back of just wishy-washy. They're really structured and understand what they want.
Tell him don't want Sancho, bro. Like, Sancho, it wasn't bought by him, so why is he going to favour him?
I'm with you, but I'm just saying that it shouldn't be that every decision the manager makes isn't the best decision for the club. And we've seen that with previous managers.
I mean,
I hear that.
Our greatest ever manager.
You don't have to agree with everything the manager does.
Yeah, not every manager is going to get everything right.
Yeah.
He's not meant to.
I hear what Musa's saying. It's the best we're going to get right now.
Going against the manager doesn't mean that you want him out or he's not that bad. It's that the manager comes and goes. The fans, we're here like through whatever's going to go on thick and thin. We understand in terms of the club and where it's going and where we want it to go in the different directions. If Eric Ten Hag goes tomorrow, he'll just pick up another job and keep it moving and make decisions.
And if Eric Ten Hag went, Musa, when you look at it now with the managers available, who would you go and get to replace him then?
No, do you know what? That's why I'm in a situation when AG's at where I'm like, it's not my job to be replacing managers, bro.
But I feel like when people are quite passionate on, like, they're not really. I'm not saying you're screaming Ten Hag out on here, right? But it's more that you're not really fully behind this manager than what, say, the rest of us are. And I feel like if you're not, then surely in your head you'd have a name. You'd have a name that you'd want someone to come in who you think would come in and do the opposite of what you're. Hear me out, bro. That you would think would come in and do the opposite of what you're not impressed with by Ten Hag. There's got to be a name out there. Otherwise, what you're saying is kind of irrelevant because you're having to then back Ten Hag because you don't feel there's a better person out there. There's got to be a name. There's got to be something tangible that you're backing your argument if by saying, do you know what, Ty, if blah, blah, blah was in tomorrow, then we would see X, Y, and Z. Otherwise, I think it's like we're having waffle pancakes, really.
No, I'm not saying that we'll see X, Y, Z. What I'm saying is that you pull the reins in on what the manager can and can't do. I'm just saying that the reins need to be pulled in on Eric Ten Hag a bit. I'm not saying get rid of him, but I'm saying you can still limit what the type of power that he has around the club and saying that.
What is that based on, sorry, bro?
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to say. This is going to be based on his performances. You have to have a standard. Eric Ten Hag keeps on talking about standards, and this is not me being against Eric Ten Hag, but where are the standards of Man United Football Club? What are your standards? You have to get to a point where we say, cool, we've given you a 3-year contract. In your first year, if you do A, B, and C, we're going to pull this type of money out.
Okay, he exceeded in his first season, and now this is just the start of the second.
How did he exceed?
We got top 4 when a lot of people didn't think
we were going to get
we won a trophy, and we got to an FA Cup final. We nearly done a double-double. We weren't going to win the league.
You said we were going to get third. You said we were going to get third.
Agenda's been aired.
You go back to my predictions. What I said was minimum. I said top four. And at least one of the finals, like getting into a final.
But he got to 2 finals and he won one of them.
2 finals and won a trophy.
That's no problem.
Okay. And Lisa, I've got another thing I want you to land back on. You just said, and me and Neji both, I could tell like we were in sync. You said something about you want Ten Hag to come in and uphold the standards. Well, Maguire's situation dealt with last year. Ronaldo's situation dealt with that. You had the Greenwood situation, had to deal with that. We had the Sancho situation where last year he gave him a break, dealt with that. This year's situation with Sancho, yes, that's a bit hot and cold, but that's the first one he's dealt with. Had to like, sort of, he's been and ahhing. But the rest of it, he's come in, he's sorted out the attitude of the players. He's put things in place where Marcus Rashford turned up late to a meeting or whatever it was. He didn't start him. So when you're talking about standards, what standards are you saying? Because we're not going to win the league because we're not Manchester City's level right now. So what standards are you talking about, bro? I'm just intrigued.
The standards that I'm talking about are the standards that Eric Ten Hag has set himself as a footballing manager and the type of football that he plays. That's the only standards we're talking about. I'm not going to be 18 months into the reign of Eric Ten Hag and you man are telling me that I still need to wait for a style of play 18 months in.
But Musa, you already laid out the facts of the system around him that's not allowing it to be fully solidified in terms of his standards.
No, but his style of play is one of the things that everyone's talking about here. Everyone keeps on saying, yo, we need to get first 11 style of play. I'm just saying we shouldn't be able. I listen. Like there's football players that man's spoken to that played for Man United in the last 10 years. Man's had conversations with, and they just say that they say that there's an energy at United they can't explain. They've been to a lot of clubs, and they just say that they just say that it's strange. They say something's going on there. Like they can't put a finger to it. You know what I'm saying? And I know
this is where the arrogance comes in, though.
100.
And again, sorry to be blunt and so forthright, but I just call it as it is, and it's not a disrespect. It's just a straight fact. There's an ignorance and an arrogance to these conversations when we know that the way we're running the structure has no care in it, so it's being filtered down. That's the vibe. Yeah. That's the difference. When Ronaldo's coming back and saying we still got the same swimming pool or things are different, it feels different. When Zlatan's coming in saying everyone outside Man United think Man United's all big this. When I went there, it's completely the opposite. This is from a result of nothing to do with manager, nothing to do with favourite players or players we dislike, from literally the standards we have set or the Glazers have set from our club. Because they don't care, they bring in other people that do not care in other positions where they need care. That's just standard procedure. That's on a very basic surface level without going too deep onto it. So, yes, you're right to highlight these things, but where you're pinpointing it, I don't think you're being very accurate.
Guys, I think none of us here, I think nobody on this panel here, puts the blame of the club and the troubles that they're in on Erik ten Hag. The question we're asking, are you telling us here on this panel that the results that Man United have had are justified because of who Erik ten Hag works under? Is that what you're telling me?
No. The 7-0. The 7-0 in that.
No, Musa, no one's saying the justified. But what you're missing is
we're talking about the results and the style of play. We're not talking about every pillar that hangs United in terms of where we are in the structure. We know Erik ten Hag has walked into a mess, and we're just glad that he actually took the job knowing the mess that it's in. But we're saying there are some results that we have gotten at the start of this season that regardless of who you have above you and the squad that you have, you got to deal with these results better. As a manager, I'm only on the footballing side of things.
So here's the thing then, Musa, yeah? It's not a case of... This is what makes me laugh about our fan base, yeah? We're so far left, far right. It's never a case of more than 3 or 4 things can literally make a cocktail. It's like if you wanted to make a certain cocktail, but man are only looking at the orange juice that's been poured in there and focus on the orange juice, you ain't got a cocktail. You got an orange juice. There are multiple things that are going on at this club, and a lot of it. So if you look at percentages, high percentages will be based on how the club is run. The other small percentages, this is why we're saying Ten Hag is not exempt from criticism, because there is still a level of accountability that we must put onto this manager. However, when we use perspective, we have to go, what are the situations the manager is in, and how much of those situations could have been helped based on the structure that he is under. And a lot of the percentages are based on how the club is run. It does not mean he's right or wrong. It doesn't mean that Ten Hag can't be held accountable for in-game management, certain player profiles, but it's not the biggest thing. And when you're talking on the depth that you're talking about, we have to then step into what is the biggest thing.
My criticism of Erik ten Hag is the fact that last season, under the same structure, under the same leadership, he showed that he can put a team out there and play a football to a certain level where he just hones in against the smaller clubs and not get havoc. From the start of this, we should have lost our first 5 games of this season. That is on the manager.
No, 100%. I agree. Can I just say something, Musa? I think I hear both points of the argument. I think I heard the fact that we need patience in terms of, we need a lot of, if you want to trust this process, you can't just quit right now. And I think ultimately, calling the manager to be sacked now or having doubts right now is a time where we need to fully back him now. But I do hear what Musa's saying. Our style of play has to be better. What we're recognized as has to be better. I think I see both sides of the argument. And this is where Ten Hag this season for me has to get everyone on board. I think this is almost like, when you're trying to get someone to do something, or you're trying to tell someone, yo, come, let's go on a little travel adventure or whatnot, and you can't convince them, but you say, you know what, it's going to be amazing. You have to convince them. And I feel like right now,
book that flight,
Go and book that flight. This is a season where Musa's got to say, you know what? Now I fully see this. But I also understand the fact that maybe people are like, you know what, man, I'm not really backing this. I'm not really feeling this, And I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna doubt this until I see better. And I
Do
think
you know what it
that's
is,
where
Said,
Musa's
as
head's
well, though?
right now.
You get two sides of it. And that's what I do agree with what Musa is saying in a sense, but I think he just approached it wrong. If Musa just come in 10 seconds and said, look, Ange has gone to Spurs, and within 4 months they're going to Arsenal and should probably be winning that game against Arsenal. The football they're playing is brilliant under 4 months of management. We've got Eric Ten Hag, who's been in here, 16 months, and we're not seeing anything like the Ange football that we've seen. I would have been like, you know what, Musa, you're bang on right. And I do agree with that, because I think if Ange can do that within 4 months and we've had 16 months of Ten Hag, we're not seeing that, then
But
it
then
is a bit of a problem.
also,
I think the
to
flip
add
side
on,
of it,
though,
Rhino, is that we got top 4 and we won a trophy last year. So it's like, we didn't play great football, but we got what Spurs can't do, which is that trophy.
And on top, the problems we had in the background that we're forgetting we had last season as well.
Yeah.
There's loads of problems we had back. Ange and Levy don't have the same problems we have. I understand the theory and don't get it. I'm on Ten Hag as well. I want him to do something, but sometimes we can't forget the negatives as well.
But this go on, sir.
We could have won at the Emirates last season. Eric Ten Hag did put out performances with the club. I'm not going to say that he didn't do what, because we saw after the 2 defeats at the start of the season, we went to Liverpool, we dug in, we got results, and we got results last season. I'm not going to go
at home.
Yeah. So my thing isn't with what's happening last season and did he do what Ange did. And I think he might have had this season might prove at the end of it that Eric Ten Hag's first season was better than Ange's first season. I'm on that. The fact he has that experience of last season. Why has he started this season so poorly?
But
this is what I'm trying to get my head around.
Musa, we had the discussion on this though. We even said about him bringing other profiles in that then make us change the way we've played. Last season, he adapted because he didn't get his ball carrier. He adapted. So the first season...
But that's why it's on him.
Wait, hold up. The first season we played for the way we played, right? Yes, it had the foundations of press. Yes, it had the foundations of work ethic. But in terms of the way we played and the profiles that we utilized, was not the same as what he's trying this season. Me and you were in full agreement. He's just gone and got rid of De Gea and he's brought Mason Mount in, right? Those profiles in terms of how you play football with them is completely different from last season. So already there's no comparison to next season because now ultimately it's almost like it's a new season playing a new way. Last season he was getting by and did amazingly well. You spoke about him being adaptable. He adapted to the highest nth and surprised every single one of us. But judging it by that season, if he's changing the way he's playing this season based on profiles, then of course it's like a new season. Not saying it is like a new season. Therefore, it's going to take longer to adapt. We already said he should have kept with what he did last season, brought in the strikers, and then next season, the third season, then maybe change the profile slightly. But because he hasn't done that, he's gone a couple of steps backwards further than he needs to, which then means what? We need more patience. We had this discussion. So you've answered your own question.
And that's why I think it's naive. I think that naivety is why I'm on him. It still doesn't excuse him because this is under.
It's not an excuse, but it's a factor, bro. It's not naive.
No, because it's
one ref, then you want to see.
And that's why I say that's the agreement we had was he didn't have to make that choice, but because he did, we're going to go behind you and say make the choice, but make it work. Get rid of De Gea, make it work. You know what I'm saying? Don't get that profile of player in but make it work. The minute you don't make it work, we're going to start saying, hold on, what's going on here, Eric? Yeah, that's the pressure. So this is why I'm not going to afford him to have a whole new season as if it's his first season. Because what that will happen is that Eric Ten Hag will finish his second season as if it's his first season. So now we have to give him another season to really embed his football in. And that's what's going into the third year. And we're like, hold on, what's going on here?
I hear that. Musa, can I ask you a question then?
Where's this escalating? Wait.
No, it's calm.
The door.
They're kind of leveling up.
It's calm. Yeah, it's calm.
Musa, last time you came on here, Yo, Musa, last time you came on here, you had the binoculars out and you were saying, yo, the Burnley game, the Palace game. What game was it before Burnley? He said, yo, these two games,
Burnley.
You're going to see me on TV behind the dugout, Iron Man up, Do you know what I mean? So now that we've won yesterday, I'm not saying, look, all of us have come on here and openly said, we're not gassed about the result. I'm not. I can speak for myself anyway. I'm not gassed about the result. He needs more consistency. We need momentum. I said before you came on, Musa, he needs to get the right jigsaw pieces in the right places. He can't be too stubborn with who he's picking. He's got to be able to get the right man in the right places. and to make it work. So how long in your head? Because I've said on here, I give him till Christmas and beyond, and then I can start analysing the season as it goes. How long do you give him, Musa? What's in your head?
To be honest, I'm not even on trying to get Eric Ten Hag out, but I'm just saying that had he gone in a direction where he's not getting... if he would have went in a direction where he can't get a win against Burnley, and we're talking about like 3-4 defeats on a row, and it seems like he's losing the dressing room, it has to come a point where I question what's going on here. I just want to see him get everything.
And it's okay to. I don't think it's bad to kind of say that. Let me just get this super chat here. HK Musa, big up my guy, says, Musa 100% right. Ten Hag needs to do better. The performance and results have not been good enough. Anyone that says otherwise is lying to themselves. We've been 1 point from 42 going away from home. Away from home to the top 9. We need better. I agree. And you know what? Ultimately, I don't think it means you're Ten Hag out. It means you're almost demanding more. This club should demand more.
Yeah, of course. The bar's on the floor.
Yeah, the bar's on the floor. When you have to deep it, Mandem, the bar's on the floor that we don't demand a lot, but you have to come with reasonable. I think when
But Saeed, you know what's difficult as well? Sorry to cut you off, bro, yeah? What's difficult now, is that when Ten Hag first came in, we said we're going to give him 3 years. And now all of a sudden, do you know what I mean? 3 years, it can take 2 years for a style of play to show. I understand that in the different circumstances, it shows quicker. But Arteta's Arsenal weren't playing like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Arsenal playing like how they played last season, 2 seasons ago? It came out of the blue. It was like, wow, you know? So I feel like not every situation is the same example. You know what I mean? Each example to its own.
You know, it is. There are more sample sizes that favour longevity according to big teams that we're looking at, as opposed to your big Anges and stuff like that. Yes, it's desirable. Don't get me wrong, it's desirable. But again, from a percentage perspective, it's going to be a small percent that happens. And to be fair, like I said, Big Ange got a whole season to go through. And again, I agree with you, Rhino. Manchester United is not Tottenham. The pressures are different. Even Harry Kane spoke about that before leaving. These are all factors that are always overlooked because, again, surface level tells you, I just want someone to blame. I just want this. But when you actually
thought Potter was going to be the guy. He went to Chelsea and it's not a joke, bro.
When you start deeping things, you start putting things into perspective, then it challenges people to start thinking a bit more deeper. And they don't like that, bro. Because they want to stick in their own head and go, it's just this and this. Like, it's not surface level, people. Me and Rano trying to tell you, it's not always surface, man.
It's not always surface level. That's exactly it, man. And that's probably the best way to wrap up the Mandem talk. People, it's been a good one, man. Another good debate. Off topic, great to see Tyrone embracing the bond. Listen, he always done that, man. This is I know this is
I've always had that out.
Now that Amrabat's coming, now you gotta you know what you gotta do now,
I've got to get the cream. All off.
Cream, bro. You see Ten Hag, how Amrabat, how shiny that the forehead is, bro. Get that shiny ball.
No, man.
I'm gonna raise that cream.
So he's gonna set the standard now, man. Amrabat, he set the standard, bro. Because I can't lie, that was shiny head, bro.
Yeah,
but fair play to him. Listen, people, we're gonna wrap up here. Big up to everybody who's joined in here. Wednesdays, 5 p.m. We're always here for the Mandem talk. We've not even hit 500 likes, guys. If you're watching right now, by the time I go around with the Mandem, shouting out their channels, we're on 445 likes. We need 500. Man. 500 people. There's literally minimum 50 more likes. Hit the like button, people, man. Come on, you can do it.
I'm looking at the comments. What Najee's done with the Razak cream. Mad are going in the comments.
Yo, listen, it's crazy. It's mad.
I don't even watch the comments until after, you know.
Yeah. Telling you, man. I'm telling you. But listen, people.
Big up everyone in the chat, man.
Big up to you, man. Big up.
Yeah, now big up. I'll just make it short and sweet, man. Make sure you smash the like, people. Big up everyone that's been commenting, watching the show as always. Big up Rhino, Leon, Naji, Musa, and Said every single time. Obviously, we're over at Never a Foul. We just hit 17K today. So big up everyone.
Love that.
Yeah, man. It's going right. And check out the new segment actually on the videos. We've got like pre-records that we do every day now, like 15-minute shows. So yeah, big up everyone. And man, we'll be here next week after the Galatasaray game, man.
There you go. Galatasaray will be here talking about hopefully we've got another 3 points. Come on.
Hopefully.
Ryan, what are you saying?
Yeah, man. Come on, guys, man. The Mandem talk always goes off. It's always nice to have a good, sensible conversation and respect everyone's opinions and always try to come to a common ground. So, yeah, man. Big up the chat as well. Naji, Leon, Ty, Musa, Said, you as always salute. Always appreciate being on the show as well. And you guys like the video, man. 500 likes. Come on, guys, man. But yeah, man, big up everyone
Come
as
on.
always, man.
Big up, man. Leon, what you saying, bro?
I'm here, man. Listen, I feel blessed. Thank you for having me again on the Mandem talk. And also, people, let's be patient, man, because it ain't been easy, but I think it's starting to get a little bit easier. So, do you know what, people? Yeah, big up, yeah. And also, Neji, give me a warning before you start mentioning that Turkish cream or whatever you mentioned then, bro. I don't know what you said. It's a razzle cream, bro. I nearly died, bro. I didn't lock my camera off, bro. Do you know what I mean? But no, big up the Mandem, and I feel like everybody in the comments, yeah, be patient because we need to just get a larger sample size. But it was good to have some good football yesterday.
Literally.
And we can't take that next Palace game for granted, man. We've got to play well. So I'm excited to see. And Saeed, keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Come on, man. Always, man. Big up to you. Leji, big up to you, man. There was no, what was that famous word everyone loves you saying here? Perspective and,
Mr.
you know what I mean?
Mr. Preference.
I didn't hear that
You already
today.
know, man.
I didn't
You
hear
need a
that.
t-shirt, fam. You need a t-shirt.
Preference. You need a
Mr.
t-shirt, man.
You
Get
know
the
what?
merch out, man. Preference FC.
Listen, if you man in the comments want me to cop a Mr. Preference shirt, I'll do it for you, lot, man. But listen, as always, big shout out to Saeed for obviously blessing us with the Mandem talk. We actually appreciate these convos every single week, man. And obviously Ty. Dude, I'm gonna Rastafari, man. Rastafari.
Oh,
that's hard.
Yes,
that's hard.
yes.
Timer back.
Lyrics.
Amrabat, Rastafari. Yeah, I like this show. I like this show even more.
We got Rastafari, we got Ryan, of course, Leon's Reality, and of course Musa as well. And you guys in the comments, man. I will give you a personal shout out though. For the ones that I went back and forth with you, I actually managed to have a healthy discussion. I actually appreciate you more often than not. Because it's very, very rare that you can come to how can I say it? Have misunderstandings of people's perspectives and still be open enough to understand. That's the biggest thing. So I've never made an opinion to be right or wrong. I only want to be understood, and I keep it the same way. So big up yous lot. Make sure you like the video, and of course, world's greatest heavyweight footballer, as you know, until proven wrong. Saeed, I'm still waiting.
Come on.
It is what it is, man.
Listen, we're going to come, man. People, it's been a good one. Big up to Musa Reactions, Musa for coming on as well. And like I said, people, I'll be back later on. Carabao Cup draw, whatever. We'll see what happens with that one. And if not, tomorrow, we're back with some more content, people. We're out.
Hey.